On 13 Plus. If you were with us during the early evening newscast, we were tracking this line of thunderstorms across parts of Illinois and expected it to impact parts of central Indiana between about 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. and weaken as it moves our way. It has for the most part weakened, but within this line of storms, we've had these embedded wind gusts that may reach 60 miles per hour and the threat of some larger hail. That's why the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of northwest Marion County, a very small sliver of Hamilton County, southern Boone into portions of Hendricks County until 8 p.m. Those are the threats. Heavy rain, lots of lightning within this line of storms, and it extends down to the south. I am going to give you several close-up views. Just wanted to pop on the stream here, make sure you knew that we weren't dealing with anything significant in terms of widespread severe weather. However, the threat for some strong winds and some larger hail, those two threats can't be completely ruled out. And again, the warning continues until 8 p.m. Let's go north along this line of storms, and we had a strong to severe storm move through, at least a strong storm, I should say, move through parts of Monticello and Logansport. That is now over Peru. Heads up Wabash, it's moving in. Kokomo, not severe, but you've got some heavy rain now in the western sections of Howard County. Tipton, you've got a line of storms approaching 31 just to your west, so it's into Kempton now. Storm over Kirkland, and here is the strongest cell. Just south of the Lebanon area and approaching quickly, Whitestown, Zionsville, Brownsburg, Danville, Avon, and Plainfield. So those are the areas under the warning for the threat of some larger hail and the potential of that wind gust over 58 miles per hour, perhaps near 60. And you can see its relation to the city of Indianapolis as well. So if you're tuning in to WTHR Plus, just wanted to give you a quick weather update on the line of storms as it moves across the central parts of the state. We'll come out a bit, head south, Greencastle, Brazil, some storms. Stronger storm over Terre Haute. And there was some discussion from the Storm Prediction Center about the southern parts of Illinois and the southern parts of our state. And you can clearly see why. There's some big time storms back over the Mount Vernon area. So that's in Illinois. Vincennes, so the southwestern part of our state. But the thinking is now, at least from the Storm Prediction Center, not going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch. At least that chance of a watch is pretty low. But we'll continue to watch areas to the south as well for some additional stronger storms. But right now, the storm's mainly impacting the northern 2/3 of the state. There's the severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 8 p.m. Does include northwestern Marion County. Lots of lightning up toward the Lebanon area. Zionsville, Brownsburg, Avon, Plainfield in the path of this storm. And it's one of several complexes that will be in the forecast over the next several days. I'm going to go back. Well, this is the 7-day forecast, but let's go back because we're really dealing with some higher heat, higher humidity, and these storm chances. And you can see a much more cloudy sky over downtown right now. 87 degrees. We pointed this out during the early evening newscast, just in case you were on the go and missed it. A dew point temperature of 71, definitely in that uncomfortable range. It's the reason we had feels like temperatures between 95 and just over 100. You can see where the storms have had an impact now. The heat index not really an issue in Lafayette, but ahead of that line of storms, it still feels like 97 in Seymour. We ended up with 87 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm watch continues technically until midnight, but I can tell you, Cass and White counties, that area of storms is now in Miami County. So it is now headed toward Peru, and we should see this severe thunderstorm watch drop pretty quickly. I do have one warning for southern Boone, a sliver of Hamilton, northwestern Marion, a good part of Hendricks County, and coming out of northeastern Putnam for a potential for some damaging wind gusts and some larger hail. So that has been an issue for us in terms of the storms. And we were keeping an eye on these cells as they developed across Illinois and continue to, for the most part, hold together. Let's go south of this location just so we can show you some of the cells. The severe warned storm, and a little stronger in Tipton, Lebanon, headed towards Zionsville, Brownsburg, Avon, Plainfield, and if it would hold together, then the rest of Marion County as well. We were tracking these with Future Track 13 earlier this afternoon and this evening, and it did an okay job on the placement. We expected it between 7 p.m. and midnight. I would say the timing is about an hour or so too slow in terms of these clusters of storms, but they are very difficult to predict. We do expect these to wind down with perhaps some additional storms off and on during the day tomorrow. Severe threat on Thursday will shift south. Tomorrow is very much like the last several days. We have warm, muggy conditions and scattered storms. Really, best advice for outdoor plans is to check radar before and during, because like we saw today, we had some storms in the morning, and then we ended up with pretty quiet weather conditions most of the afternoon before this round of storms this evening. Future Track 13 hinting at some stronger cells tomorrow afternoon and early evening, again in that severe storm threat area. Not much of a change. We're going to be in and out of these complexes of storms, and the rainfall potential for us over the next 5 days is 2 to 4 or more inches of rain, and that's going to be a concern for flash flooding. At least it increases that threat for some flash flooding. So we encourage you to stay with us and encourage you to have several ways to get warnings, and a good thing to keep in mind for outdoor plans, not only tomorrow and Friday, but for the weekend. We're going to have to work around those rain chances. Storms may interrupt the outdoor plans, and then we may need a backup, especially if we would get into a situation where we get storms over the same area and we in fact get 2, 3, 4 or more inches of rain out of some of these cells. Flash flooding would become an issue. At this point, we've got this line of storms from near Peru to about Kokomo and Tipton. There's the severe thunderstorm warning until 8 p.m. and these storms extend south toward Terre Haute. So we wanted to give you just a quick update here on 13 Plus. If you're in Spencer and Ellettsville, so think Owen and Clay counties, what's in Terre Haute is going to start to push east-southeast. So you'll get into that threat of perhaps some strong winds, maybe some small hail, definitely the heavy rain and the lightning. We are continuing to see the weakening of this line of storms to the north, with the exception being that severe thunderstorm warning. But I can tell you, I tweeted this out actually before the warning came out, that it was looking stronger as it approached Boone County. National Weather Service went warning, but actually it's looking a little weaker, so that's a piece of good news. It's just a reminder we are definitely in this summertime pattern where we get these pop-up thunderstorms. They contain heavy rain, lightning, and because there's so much moisture in the atmosphere, these will contain that flash flooding threat. And from time to time, wind and hail will be threats as well. So just kind of stick with us. We'll be keeping you updated on this line of storms as it continues to move from west to east. It is weakening as it does so. However, we expect perhaps strengthening across the southern part of the state. So we'll keep an eye on what comes out of Terre Haute. We gave you the heads up, Ellettsville, Spencer, maybe even into the Bloomington area. We'll see how these hold together as they come out of the Terre Haute area, but just be prepared. We've got some scattered storms out there this evening. I know lots of practices, whether it be soccer or your kids in band preparing for the state fair. There's just a lot going on as we get ready to wrap up summer and head back to school. So if you do have outdoor plans in the coming days, make sure you download that Live Doppler 13 weather app. It can be very useful, especially if you're on the go, not only seeing the radar, but in that settings, once you're on the interactive radar, you can choose a future radar, and it will give you an estimate of where the storms will go next. I find that feature great. So just maybe download that, especially if you've got some plans the next couple of days. Also streaming here on WTHR Plus, outside the forecast for this week talks about lightning safety, and that is crucial this time of year when we get storms like this popping up, and really one of the bigger threats, lightning. And we've seen it here. It can be clear, there can be a storm cloud 5 to 10 miles away, and lightning can be a threat. So obviously, we always say when thunder roars, go indoors. That's the best advice. The minute you hear thunder, it's time to move those outside activities in. Just wanted to give you a quick update here on WTHR Plus. I'm meteorologist Angela Buchman. What's left of the warning goes until 8 o'clock, so we've got about 9 minutes left on that warning. Heads up, Spencer, Ellisville, Bloomington, and Greene County. That cell south of Terre Haute strengthening just a bit as it moves off to the east and southeast. We'll keep you updated as needed here on WTHR Plus and on Channel 13. We'll have a full report for you at 11. We'll see you then.